Hi, Robby. Thank you for taking time out of your day to meet with me and discuss a little bit about, what you do.
Mhm.
Um, I really appreciate it. So
Yeah, of course.
let's get to it, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself before we get started.
So my name's Robby. I went to university to study computer science. I did that for a couple of years, and I just graduated this past fall in December. And it was a little bit hard to find a computer science job out of the gate for me. So I started up my side business. It's something that I've always wanted to do, which is being a personal trainer. And I've been pursuing that for about 7 months now. This is the seventh month I've been doing that. And I'd say things are going pretty good. I started just working at the front desk of a gym, training like friends and family. And then a few months into that, one of the bigger trainers at the gym asked me to be a contractor for him to train some of his clients on the side. And he trains NBA players and all kinds of professionals. And I just help out wherever I can.
That's incredible, man. That's amazing that you were able to shift into something that you're really passionate about. Now, let me ask you this: what motivated you to pursue this career path?
I think it was the ability to socialize with people because doing computer science work was very monastic. It was just me and my computer alone in the library. And I understand in the industry there will be more people to be around and like teams to work with, but studying to get into the industry requires a lot of time on your own. And after so long in school, just being on my own, I just wanted to do something where I could flex that social muscle, which is very important to overall health. So that's what brought me there. But it's also the fact that I really love training. Like I love training myself. I love all the different techniques. I love how deep you can go with different exercises. Like it's not just a bench press. It's like how can I make it the most efficient? How many variations can there be? So just big curiosity and the urge to socialize a little bit more.
That's incredible, man. And it sounds like you definitely, want to do well for yourself and help others in achieving their fitness goals as you go.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you this. Um, for where you're currently at, right? What specific education or training prepared you for this career?
So specific education, I got an ACE certification to be a personal trainer. Uh, and then non-traditionally, I kind of went to YouTube University. Like for at least the past decade, I've been following fitness channels on YouTube, consuming their information, taking notes on the things that I like, and then testing it on myself. So a lot of trial and error, a lot of doing things on my own. And then I've always had some friends that I could try things out with. So it wasn't just like a study of one person, but yeah, really it's just experience.
So it's
Experience
taken
doing it.
you 10 years to really learn everything that you've known up
I'd say
until
so, yeah.
that's
The first
that's
the first
incredible.
couple of years of high school, I was just playing around, and then I started getting like pretty in depth with it around 2014, 2015, like taking notes, really studying how the different disciplines of fitness operate. Like there's a whole bodybuilding section where it's like, how big do I get? That was a trend when I started. And
Mhm.
then powerlifting started up later, which was like smaller looking people who were lifting massive amounts of weight. And you had to kind of be more brainy to do that. It's like, how do I make my lift more efficient? What do I do with my body? What should it look like? What should I be thinking? All kinds of little minutia
Yeah.
going in. And then it just kept going on and on and on. And now it's like kind of a mixture of those two with the addition of how do I train the connective tissue? And that's the new thing that I'm really going after.
Wow. Well, let me know when you find out.
Yeah.
Um, but so now that we've learned a little bit about you, I know we had previously spoken about the RIASEC, right? And I just want to get your thoughts on that. What are your themes and how do they align with what you do? And how do you think these themes could help students?
So I found for myself, I definitely fit into the realistic category because I love touching and operating the different machines in the gym and like changing the setting, trying each and every different setting, really. And then I love like different attachments that you can add to the machines to change things up. So the realistic one definitely resonated with me. And then in addition, the investigative category resonated with me because it was a trial and error process that got me to where I am. So it was like me trying, is this machine position the best? No, let me try this other one. Is this handle the best? Should I grab it this way? Should I grab it this way?
Mhm.
What cadence works best with each lift? So the trial and error and the investigative category mesh really well with me. I'm not so much the artist, but I will say for the social category, the one thing that really made me go, I think I'm part of that also, is I like to help people. Lots of friends come to me. They're like, hey, how do I do X, Y, and Z exercise? What's the best way to do it? So, and that lights something up in me. Like I like being able to give good information and help people along on their journey. And the final one is conventional because when I'm doing training for clients, I take very detailed notes. Like I write down exactly the exercise, how it was performed, and the weight. And then before I see them the next time, I review that, copy that document over, and then see if they're going to stay at that weight, go down, make whatever changes that I need to make based on what I saw from the last time. So I really like having like a roadmap of where I've been and then kind of using that to guide where I'm going.
No, I appreciate that response. It sounds like, you're pretty set in stone in how you operate, right? And how
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you're using your operations to not only better yourself as a fitness coach, but also as a trainer for others.
Yeah. And for the people who are using the RIASEC, I think it's just a good idea to kind of look at the different categories and go, what resonates with me? Because it narrows down like different career things that you can look at, different career paths you can look at. It's just a good way, it's a good field test.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for that information. So let me ask you this. What tools or techniques do you use to stay organized and productive in your work?
So I have ADHD, so my thoughts are very fast, let's say. So I very much rely on the Apple ecosystem and all the tools within it. So the calendars app, because I can invite people, I can invite every client to their training session and we can confirm times. The to-do lists for like what things that I need to order for different people and like for scheduling my own meals and everything. And then I think the number one tool I use is the Notes app on my iPad because
Mhm.
there's so many different sources of information that I'm going through, and I need somewhere to write it where I can view it on all my devices. So the Notes app helps me organize and put things in folders. And not to mention all my clients' work and workouts and future workouts are listed there. And it's so easy to like drag and drop photos and videos. So like the integrated uh, I like the integrated tool that it is because I can put everything into a note. I will say I don't always use the Apple Notes app. Sometimes I lean towards Good Notes, which is an app available on all different platforms, similar to the Apple app, but there's some extra tools where you can like move things around more easily and change colors in a more intuitive way. But yeah, I'm big on technology. And also for myself and my own training, I'm into the fitness wearables, like being able to have a gamified version of your own workout and gamifying the workouts for other people. So I like to track the sets and what body part was completed. So I can show them a picture at the end of the month of like, you did 20 sets of chest this month, you did 40 sets of legs. And we can kind of evaluate from there using like hard data. Okay, we did this much. How's your legs feeling? Like, should we back off on the volume on that and increase the volume on some other area? And it just gives you more than it gives you a bigger picture. So I like to collect data. I like to write data down. I like to review it. I think it's very helpful in the field.
And you do this for all of your clients. You do make it more individualized. You try to make it more individualized, just so they're getting that one-on-one approach.
Yeah. I mean, I always ask them like, what exercises do you want to do? Because of course
Mhm.
I have a list of things, a very long list of things that I want them to do, but it's not always what they want. So I try to work with them as like a team. Okay, what do you want to do? Here's the things that I suggest. And then we kind of balance it out. But if one of the things I like doesn't work, we throw it. If one of the things they like doesn't work, we throw it. And we just, the longer we're together, the more we get to that perfect workout system that I'm trying to create for each people.
And
But I
and
will say
it's
we start with like a rough template just to get like a springboard and see where they're at, and then we start building in chunks from both of us.
that's incredible. So it sounds to me like you enjoy not only helping people achieve their goals, but also connecting to them at a personal level and building that rapport to better understand what works for them and how you can come together so it works for both of you.
Oh yeah, because if they're not enjoying it, then they're not going to go to the gym. And the most important thing, the most important exercise in the gym is opening the front door. If you can open the front door and walk in, you've won like 80% of the battle. Because that the momentum of coming in and going again and again is what I'm really trying to instill. The exercises and all the little minutia are secondary. If they can come in and they're enjoying what they're doing, then we're making progress.
No, that's incredible. That's an amazing quote. I'll have to use that uh, another time. But since we're talking about opening doors and the positive that goes into this, let's take a moment to maybe process maybe something that has happened that might not always be so positive, right? So let me ask you, have you ever encountered resistance or pushback when implementing a new idea or process at work? And how did you address it?
Yeah. So, as I was saying before, occasionally I pick an exercise out and the person's doing it. And it's sometimes it's just the movement itself doesn't fit so well with how their body is that day or that year, like a little arthritis in the shoulder or the wrist. And so I always try to implement the idea that we want to end on a double. Like we always want to have a win at the end. So if you can't do that weight, let's try lowering the weight. But sometimes that doesn't work. What about lowering or changing the range of motion that they're going through? Okay, that's not working. All right, what if I assist you through it? Like we can regress the exercise to make it easier. Maybe we add a balance component. Maybe I'm just helping you lift the weight. And sometimes none of those things work and they're just feeling very uncertain. So I'm like, okay, how about we just throw that exercise and find something that trains the same muscle, but maybe eliminates the area that hurts. Like I've had a guy who isn't a big fan of the pressing movements because he has wrist issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, why don't we just get rid of training using this area and we just do like a chest machine where you don't need to use anything below the elbow anymore. And then we find techniques from there and kind of build confidence up and then train the wrist individually in another way. So have him training to turn his wrist in and out, the up and down, the twisting, the opening and closing of the hand, just trying to cover all the nooks and crannies in the wrist. And then when his wrist feels better overall, he has more confidence in it. We can start trying to progress the other ones again. But so I have encountered resistance with that. And it's not always like, because people are scared, it's their body. They don't want to be hurting more after they leave the gym than before they entered. So
Mm-hmm.
you always have to kind of talk them down, say it's okay. Pain isn't an absolute. Like pain can be affected by so many different things, like your mood, your anticipation of it. Sometimes even if you're hungry or not, if you're having a bad day, like lots of different things go into why someone feels pain. So I try not to give it the blanket statement of, oh, it's just the exercise. Like there's a lot going into it. But yeah,
And so that's how you address it by, trying to understand that there's a lot going on with the body rather than, just telling them everything will be okay.
yeah. There's a you just gotta make it a less scary thing and then
Mhm.
still find an exercise that can do what we're looking to do. That's the TLDR.
Okay. And so No, I appreciate your information. This is very informative. And so let me ask you on a personal level, right? How do you motivate your clients? What is something that maybe you do one on one, or um, you talk to them if they're having a hard time or if you're getting that pushback?
Hmm. Well, I will say one motivating thing, just kind of outside of the actual training, more on like the business end, is training packages are usually bought like in multiples. So it's not like you train one day, you get paid that one day. It's like you
Hmm.
buy 5 sessions and then we do each one. So that's pretty motivating, not just getting them in the door, but like to continue to try because it's like it's already been it's already come out of their bank. Like
Yeah.
but then when they encounter the actual resistance, it's like, okay, take off all the weight, take off everything, and now just move through that range. Say you were squatting and something felt weird in your hip. I would be like, okay, let's take away all the weight. Let's take away all the pressure of having to do that movement with that weight. And I would make like an assisted version. Like they would have something to grab above. And it's like, can
Hmm.
you still move through the range of motion without any pain? Do you still have that ability unlocked? And if that ability is locked, okay, what about like a half of the squat? What do you feel on half of the squat? Oh, the half squat hurts. Okay, what about like the leg extension where you sit and you kick your leg out and you resist it coming down? That one feels okay. All right, so we have our working place. So they never have totally lost. There's always something that we can do to start them back up on the path to rebuild. It's just a matter of regressing it far enough that they
Hmm.
have a new entry point. You
Okay.
always got to find that entry point again, and then you can go, okay, I've conquered this level. What's the next level? I've conquered this level. What's the next level? On and on. And that's the constant game of being in the gym because the bodies are not eternal. Things
Yeah.
degrade, things go bad. You tweak something, lifting up a bag of mulch while you're, fixing up your lawn, and you just got to work with what you got that day. Win the day is what my
Win the
mom.
day. That's amazing. That's an incredible line. So yeah, you have to go out there and win each and every day. I agree with that one.
No matter the level you're at, just win that day.
Okay. And so I appreciate you've discussed, how you got here, right? Um, what you enjoy about it. I think you talked to me about, how you motivate your clients, obviously, and how you set yourself up to have excellent sessions, right? And how
Mhm.
that evolves into how successful you continue to be. Now, let me ask you this. What do you enjoy doing outside of work that contributes to your overall success or professional success?
Um, it's definitely working out. Like
Hmm.
I love testing the things on myself because I can't instruct someone on an exercise that I have no idea how to do. Like it has to be something that I've tried and I have cues that I think about and that I see when I film myself. And only after I have like sufficient, experience doing it can I transfer that experience over. If it's something I just started like a week ago, I would not be asking a client to do that. Only
Hmm.
things that I've tried and combinations that I've tried. So, yeah, definitely working out, definitely practicing what I preach.
I respect that. And do you think so you do a lot of self training and self teaching, and that's how you operate, you would say?
Yeah. But I'm a structured kind of person, so my week is basically set out already. I know what I'm going to do Monday through Friday in the gym. If I'm to make a change, then I'll like write it in and schedule it into the workout and I'll track it over the course of a number of weeks.
Okay.
And after a number of weeks of trying, doing different things, seeing progress, having to regress, whatever the day offers me, then I can go, this is real experience. I've lost, I've won, I tried this, I tried that. I have like a decent pool of information that I could give to someone when they try it because
Okay.
I've been there.
So you keep track of your losses and wins as you go through each week?
Yeah,
That's incredible. And
I
do you do
do.
that for your clients as well?
I do. Yeah. So in the notes, I write the exercise and the weight used and all the tools used in one color. And then anything that goes bad, any complaints, I note down underneath in like a different color, just so it's very obvious to me the next time before I train them. It's like, okay, he had this little issue going on in his elbow when he was doing this. How can we address it this time? And then I always have to think like, am I going to ask him about it? Because then it kind of primes the brain to be afraid. So sometimes I'll just without saying anything, I'll just reduce the weight or change it in such a subtle way, but I won't directly say, how's your elbow? Is your elbow hurting like it was yesterday? Because then there's that expectation. My elbow hurt? Is it hurting today? And then too many thoughts, too many thoughts.
Hey, well, I appreciate you taking this time today to speak with me. I think you are doing something fascinating that not only encourages people to want to be better, but also look better and feel better.
Oh,
And I wish you all the success. And I appreciate your time. Thank you for sitting down with me and giving me more of an insight of what you do on a day-to-day basis.
yeah. Thanks for reaching out.
All right,
Anytime.
Robbie. Take care, man. Thank you so
All right.
much.